Well, today I have decided to do a video on the best gyms in Ontario. So I did a video on the best gyms in Toronto, and really it's the only one that got any viewership. So I've been to many gyms um, in Toronto, near Toronto. Not so much near Ottawa, just so you know, I'm really not going to talk about the Ottawa area, but I will be able to speak to chains. I'll be able to speak to some independents that are near Toronto, not necessarily in Toronto. So here I go. Let's start with the obvious. So Good Life. Good Life is the biggest chain we have in Ontario. The good thing about Good Life, there's lots of gyms. The equipment is good. The negative of Good Life, I am finding that more and more the demographic is becoming unmotivating. It is it's sort of very basic. Um, People just getting into the gym or just going for the sake of going and not so much hardcore. I'm a little bit more hardcore myself. Actually, I'm a lot more hardcore, and I like some inspiration to be around me, and I like there to be a bit of a vibe. Doesn't go for all Good Lives. There are a few that have more of a vibe, but the majority of them are extremely uninspiring, but very good equipment. So that's Good Life. You join Good Life. The nice thing, you have access to a million clubs. A million. It's not really a million. I'm going to guess they have 150 clubs, something like that across Ontario. You can also use Energy Cardio in Quebec, which is great. And they also have a collaboration with 24/7 Fitness in the States. So basically, wherever you go, you can go to a gym. You can't beat that. And it's extremely cheap if you get a corporate rate. So I mean, you can't go wrong. Do I love being there? No, not necessarily, but it's kind of a necessary evil. So that's Good Life. Let me go to another chain, LA Fitness, better equipment than Good Life, bigger gyms, basketball courts, but way less of them in Ontario. And I'm not sure if you can use your LA Fitness membership in Canada when you go to the United States. I don't think so. A lot of the United States ones are called eSporta now. They are great gyms. They're just far from downtown. So, like I live in downtown Toronto. The closest LA Fitness is Keele and Dundas, and it's just too far to get to on a regular basis. But I love LA Fitness. Demographic is a bit more inspiring than Good Life, and it's a bigger gym, so there's just a bigger mix of people. So definitely probably as far as chains go, it's our best Canadian chain. The lesser ones, we have a few Planet Fitness. There, I mean, I don't love that. We've got Home. I was a member there for a while. Techno Gym Equipment, which I don't love, unfortunately. The Hone on Carlaw is very nice, but Hone in general is the lowest end chain that we have in Ontario. It's cheap. That's the advantage. There's a few locations, and they're all downtown. So if you're downtown, Hone could be an option, but you'll probably end up at Good Life. Here's where it gets interesting in Ontario. When you start to get to independent gyms, and that's where you really can find some interesting options. So first, I'll talk about Altea. I don't like Techno Gym Equipment, but Altea has Techno Gym Equipment. Other than that, it's a big, beautiful gym with huge windows. Beautiful people. You compare the demographic at Altea to all the gyms combined in Toronto. By the way, Altea is in Liberty Village. There's only one. They're building a second one at Bloor and Yonge. You compare the vibe to the one at Liberty Village, you're going to find more fit, good-looking people in that gym in 1 hour than you'll find in all the other gyms combined. It's just the vibe that it happens to have. It's clean. It's nice. It's a pleasure to be there. Again, I don't love that equipment, but it almost doesn't matter. I find the atmosphere trumps the equipment there. And there's much more of a hardcore fitness vibe in that gym. People are training hard. You see most women squat, deadlift. They use the power racks. Um, it's a much harder core gym than the other two chains, and it also has free classes, like free yoga classes, free spinning classes. It really is a pleasure to be there, even though I don't like the equipment. So that's Altea. Altea is the most expensive of all the gyms, pretty much in Ontario at the moment, um, but it's fun to be there. So that's Altea. There's Pure Muscle, which is in Burlington. That is the best actual gym for equipment, maybe in the world. I'm not exaggerating when I say maybe in the world. They have everything. They have Panada equipment, which they don't have in Canada. Um, they don't have in Ontario anywhere else, I don't think. They have um, they have almost every company. They've got tons of equipment. It's very, 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 very much a hardcore bodybuilder demographic. Steroids are prevalent in that gym. Just um, and you might be intimidated if you're like a first time lifter and you go in. Everybody is honestly huge when you go to that gym. So if you're a first time lifter, I mean, I would personally still go there, but you may feel intimidated. It's not um, it's not a light crowd is the way I would describe it. But people are friendly, nice. I love it. It's a little bit out of the way, but it's pretty much the best gym for equipment that you could ever get. It's huge. I really can't say anything um, negative about it. It's maybe the best gym in the world. So it's called Pure Muscle. They carry Panada, Hammer Strength, Gym Leco, um, Icarian. They literally have tons of equipment. So that gym is wonderful, and the atmosphere is good too. If you like to work out, it's definitely an inspiring place. What else in Ontario? There's Lifetime. I didn't mention. So Lifetime's another chain. I should have mentioned it with the chains. Um, I actually I take it back. LA Fitness is not the best chain that we have. It's Lifetime. Lifetime is beautiful. It's fancy. They've got lots of equipment. They usually have a rock climbing wall, a basketball court, and a swimming pool. It's a little bit higher end than LA Fitness, a little bit more expensive. There's way less of them. There might be four, I'm guessing, in Ontario, but they're all newer looking. They all have nice equipment. They're huge, huge facilities. It's sort of an experience to go, and I would definitely recommend Lifetime if it's near you. It's just not near me downtown. So Lifetime is a great brand. Here's one that's out there. There's a gym in Markham called FE, which stands for Fitness Element. Yeah, the equipment is okay. It's old, but the vibe is great. It's a smaller gym. I was a member there for 2 months during COVID. It was just fun to be there. Everybody knows each other. It's definitely a hardcore demographic, so people are training hard and it's inspiring. It doesn't have the equipment of a pure muscle by any stretch of the imagination, but the atmosphere is fantastic. I would recommend checking out FE. Here's another one, Conquer Fitness, which I love. I'm a member of there now. So Conquer Fitness is in High Park. It's a one-off gym. They have all the old hammer strength equipment, which is impossible to find, and is probably my favorite equipment outside of Panada, maybe hammer strength, Panada, neck and neck. It's not an inspiring demographic whatsoever, but the equipment for me is the best. They have everything from the old hammer strength equipment that you could ever want, and it looks and feels like an old school gym. Don't expect to go and have big bright windows and new floors and cleanliness like you have at Altia, but purely for equipment, I love it. So that's a few really good independents that I've just named. Where else have I been that's independent? There's 24/7 Fitness, I think it's called, which is in a remote area of Etobicoke. It also has old school hammer strength and it has a hardcore demographic. It's a little bit out of the way. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but that's a great gym as well. I think that kind of covers gyms in Ontario that are close to Toronto. Really, I didn't talk about anything to do with Ottawa, but it covers it covers other gyms other than just your Good Lives and your LA Fitnesses. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great workout. Maybe you can try out some of those independent gyms that I mentioned. Cheers.